Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the App Dev Spotlight session. I am super excited to share how generative AI is changing app development, how it's making life easier for developers, and specifically how Google Cloud can help. Now, we've got some really great content on tap, so let's get right into it. Generative AI, or Gen AI, we often hear, it's rapidly evolved beyond being just this trendy term. Right? It's amazing how quickly this technology has delivered really meaningful business impact. A recent survey of over 500 global IT leaders shows that adopting or implementing Gen AI tools and services is a top priority for their organizations. In fact, it ranks among the top 3 critical tasks that they're focused on in 2024. Now, at Google Cloud, we want to help all of you seize this AI moment, gain a competitive edge in the market for your organizations. So we're going to help you do that in 2 ways. And we're going to cover these 2 ways today. First, by boosting developer productivity using Gen AI. We want to provide you with the best Gen AI assistant so you can build software faster, better, more securely. The second thing we're going to do is helping developers quickly create Gen AI applications by using Google Cloud technologies and ecosystem tools so that you can ship your own Gen AI-powered applications and ideas to market faster. So today, I'm going to show you both of these things through the eyes that I care about the most, the eyes of a developer. Okay, for developer productivity, Gemini Code Assist, the evolution of Duet AI for developers, is your trusted AI coding assistant. With Gemini Code Assist, we empower developers to use assistants in a way that not only speeds up application development, but also boosts app quality and safety, all while making sure that we meet enterprise needs. Now, since we announced general availability in December last year, developers from organizations all around the world are actively using Gemini Code Assist to boost their productivity. Our team, meanwhile, is hard at work on delivering new enhancements, new product features that are really making this more and more powerful every day. Today, with Gemini Code Assist, developers are saving time on many simple but repetitive tasks. So these are things like writing a single unit test or maybe a single function. But there's a much bigger opportunity to save developers hours, or even potentially days, if we can provide a way to enable assistance that's across the entire repository, rather than just assistance focused on an individual file. This paradigm shift is made possible with 2 capabilities that we're shipping and announcing here at Next. The first one is code transformation, which allows you to analyze, refactor, and optimize your code in a matter of seconds. Pretty cool. Second is something that we are calling full code base awareness. This is where we go from contextualization on just a few lines of code in your IDE to the entire repository, all of the code in your repository. This means that when Gemini gives you code suggestions, it's in taking that full repo into account, right? Now, Google Cloud is the only vendor who has this capability, and it's made possible by our Gemini 1.5 Pro model, which offers this 1 million token large context window. It can support more than 30,000 lines of code. This, coupled with code transformation, is in fact a game changer. It brings a substantial leap in AI assistance quality, and it opens the door to many use cases that you couldn't even imagine before. And to show you some of this in action, let's welcome Aja on stage. Aja?
Thanks, Gabe. So yesterday in the keynote, you saw how full code base awareness and code transformation makes it easy to add features to your application by just describing your vision. But we didn't really get a chance to dig into the kind of code changes that Gemini Code Assist can recommend and what large context really looks like in practice. So let's do that now. I'm here in my IDE, and I'm running one of our e-commerce jumpstart solutions. This application has about 18,000 lines of code, and that turns into about 300,000 tokens. That's more than most other code assistants, and honestly, more than most people can keep in their head. So what are we going to do? Well, Gemini Code Assist can handle it just fine. So let's have Code Assist add a feature to our application. Right now, our e-commerce site doesn't show people the average rating for all of the products. So let's add that. Adding a feature like this requires changes to both the back-end API and the front-end JavaScript application, but Code Assist can handle that. So let's write a prompt. So we want to add a feature to our application that shows the average product rating on the product list page. We need to handle edge cases. So if there aren't any ratings, don't show anything. We need to make sure that it updates everything, front end and back end, so let's make that clear. You must show all changes to both the client and the server. And I want to add a little pizzazz, so show the rating using the star emoji. I think that covers everything. So this is where you can really benefit from those 1 million tokens. AI assistant tools that have smaller context windows can only look at a few files at a time. So I'd have to design the feature and then go file by file by file to prompt the assistant for the specific changes I had in mind. But with Code Assist, I only have to prompt it once, and it designs the feature and suggests an implementation. And I'm actually running a debug build here today, so let's actually give it a second, and we can show you what that context looks like. So when we're sending that context across and we're talking about full code base awareness, it's everything. JavaScript, Python, READMEs, Docker files, everything. Everything is in here. This is what 300,000 tokens looks like. And not shockingly, processing that much stuff takes a while. So I'm going to switch to one we set up backstage to save us all a little bit of time. And here you can see that Code Assist has already responded. And it's given us the code for the changes we need, but also it gives us the explanation and explains the changes and gives us some suggestions for other things we might change. Now, good developers, and I try to be a good one, we believe in code review. So let's code review the changes and integrate them as we do so. So this first change here is adding the average ratings code to the product model. That looks about right. That's my product model, so let's put it in right here. So I'm going to do that using this plus button. Super simple. I'm going to delete that because that's extra. Now, I made the changes to serializers backstage to save us some time, but I did want to call out this. It specifically says that we don't need to change that file. So you know that it was considered, that that was factored into the design, and it's not necessary. I love that. And finally, we have to do the part that scares me a little bit, which is changing the JavaScript. So we're going to take this bit right here, and there's a lot of extra code around, but it just tells me where to put it. We're going to copy that. And I think that we want our star rating right here above our inventory. Cool. So changes look good, and just to make sure you saw what I did, we added the star rating, we added this to the models .py, and these are the changes I made to the serializer. Real simple. I just added a feature to the application with a single prompt. But I hope you all are wondering what I'm wondering, which is, did it work? Live demos, so let's find out. Let's start up NPM here. And while it's loading, you guys saw how we added a whole feature to the application with a single prompt, and you can see that our star ratings are right there. It worked. That was live. We just updated this web page, and we can see our average rating on our products page. And we did it all with Gemini Code Assist. But that's not all Code Assist and Large Context Window can do for you. With Large Context and Gemini Full Code Base Awareness, you can migrate your code from one version to another, or one framework to another. You can generate integration tests and documentation to make it easier for the developers that consume your API or your own staff to get up to speed. And you can identify optimizations and refactorings across your entire code base to reduce maintenance burden and potentially improve performance. We just saw how Gemini Code Assist's full code base awareness, coupled with code transformation, made it fast and easy to add a new feature to our application, saving us time we might have otherwise spent learning the code base, writing code, troubleshooting, fixing issues, and everything else that goes along with development. This is only possible because of Gemini's industry-leading 1 million token context window. Without that much context, your code assistant can't be aware of your whole code base. Back to you, Gabe.
Thank you so much, Aja. One prompt for all that just totally blows my mind. It's amazing how you can transform an entire repository so fast. And that's all thanks to the power of the Gemini 1.5 Pro model. Well, another highly demanded feature from our customers is for Code Assist to offer more customized assistance. Specifically, for developers to get code suggestions and chat answers that are more pertinent to their private code bases. Now, to help with this, we are now introducing code customization to Code Assist. With this feature, enterprises can use their private code bases to enable Code Assist to deliver more contextualized responses tailored for their developers, knowing that dev teams operate in diverse requirements, right? And so we are one of the first providers in the industry to support connections to many popular places where developers store their code, right? Places like GitLab, GitHub, and Bitbucket. And no matter how you deploy your code bases, whether you're hosting that on premises or maybe in the cloud, it doesn't matter. Gemini Code Assist can connect with all of them. Now, in addition, we've designed this feature with your safety as a top priority. Information about your private code is kept isolated in a dedicated tenant. And our code indexes are deployed securely in databases that have enterprise access controls so that you have total control, total visibility of who can access it and how it gets accessed. Now, excitingly, some customers are already using this feature today. And to hear more about that, let's welcome on stage Jonathan, CEO and co-founder of Turing. Jonathan?
Thank you, Gabe. Who's excited about AGI for software engineering? Great. Turing is the world's first AI-powered tech services company. And AI is central to our mission to unleash the world's untapped human potential. We do 3 things at Turing. First, we help the world's leading AI companies like Google train LLMs to improve model performance for reasoning, problem solving, and coding. Second, we help Fortune 500 companies solve their business problems by leveraging the best AI models. And third, we deploy the best technical talent in the world vetted by AI. Every company today is an AI company. Every product is an AI-infused product. Every job is transformed by AI. One of those jobs is software engineering. Turing is the world's largest developer cloud with more than 3 million software engineers. And we care deeply about improving developer productivity. At Turing, one of our goals is to foster a new generation of AI-powered super developers. We want to turbocharge software engineers and software development teams with AI. And through our partnership with Google, we are leveraging Gemini Code Assist, which is one of the best coding assistants we've ever encountered, to help us achieve this goal. We are privileged to be trialing code customization features with Gemini Code Assist. And today, I'm really excited to share with all of you some of our early results on what we've achieved with this exciting new feature. Here, I'm going to show you how Gemini Code Assist works with our private code base during backend development. Let's watch a quick demo.
For this example, we're developing a new piece of middleware to run as part of our backend service. We've already built several internal libraries to make this task faster and more efficient. One of these libraries is our Turing Experimentation Framework. This custom component was built in-house and enables us to easily make A/B changes on our website. As a private piece of our codebase, it's not included in any public model training data. As we start typing, you see that Gemini offers us a suggestion for using this component with a call to load features. This is a reasonable suggestion and consistent with good naming practices for this type of component. Unfortunately, our library uses a different call pattern. At this point, our developer needs to stop work and go look up the experimentation code to proceed. Now, let's undo all of that and try again, but this time we'll use the power of Gemini code customization. Let's navigate to the settings page and enable additional remote context. This tells Gemini Code Assist to use embeddings that we've taken from Turing's unique source repositories. Now when we type, we get much better results. We're prompted to get feature list to load all our feature flags and begin enabling the right functionality. You can even see that Gemini pulled in this experimentation SDK code reference that isn't yet in scope. We'll add that import, and now we're ready to go. We have correct executable code generated without leaving our typing flow. If we're not sure about these results, we can even ask Gemini to explain them to us. With Gemini, now our developers are more productive than ever.
Isn't that cool? In fact, in a double-blind A/B test with Gemini Code Assist customization, Turing found acceptance rates improved by almost 70%. This is huge compared to the base model alone. A pilot study that we did previously with Code Assist in our development teams had revealed very similar results. We saw a developer productivity boost of almost 33% in pull requests merged per developer per week. This is outstanding. It means Turing's projects are completed faster, more efficiently, and with higher quality. This is key to how excited we are about this fascinating new technology. At Turing, generative AI is transforming software development in a huge way. I'm looking forward to our continued partnership with Google Cloud towards this exciting future of AI-assisted software development. There's been no better time to be a software engineer. Thank you, and let me hand it back to Gabe.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. To make Gemini more helpful, we're making this customization experience available not only for the code completion scenarios that you saw in that demo, but also for live code generation scenarios. Now, if you're interested in testing out the new Gemini Code Assist features we just showed you, time to get your phones out. You can sign up for our private preview program. Just use the link here on the screen to get started. Great, I see a bunch of you with your phones out. And also, for enterprises who are looking to test Gemini Code Assist in your own development teams, we're offering an exclusive 30-day pilot. Check out this different link here for more information on how to apply. Okay. Now, Google Cloud is committed to creating the best AI assistant for developers. This mission involves not only advancing the technology, but also collaborating with the community. For that, we've built partnerships with many leading organizations within the ecosystem, all in support of developing Gemini Code Assist. Last year, in December, we announced that an ecosystem of partners will enable us to enhance Gemini Code Assist in different ways, using their documentation and knowledge sources, and also work with us to optimize Gemini Code Assist for more contextualized assistance based on their products, specific programming languages, things like that. But today, I want to bring on stage one of our strategic partners, Sneak, to talk about the work that we are doing together. For that, let's welcome Danny. Danny?
Thank you, Gabe, and thank you everyone for being here today. Super exciting to be here. For those of you who are not familiar with Sneak, we are an industry-leading developer-first security platform that helps empower developers find, prioritize, and fix vulnerabilities, not just in the code that they write, but also in open source dependencies, in containers, in infrastructure as code that you use to build your application workloads. Our solution is built on an AI-driven analysis engine and also a market-leading proprietary vulnerability database, and it provides tight integration with existing developer workflows. And all of this is to help developers drastically reduce the time it takes to find and to fix security issues. It's built by developers and for developers, and we're the first platform dedicated to developer security, and it's become an industry leader in the application security testing space. But today we're thrilled to partner with Google Cloud to bring a seamless security experience to our joint customers. And today I'm going to be sharing some very exciting news about the work we're doing together to help you with your Gen AI workflows. Gemini Code Assist, as you heard from Gabe, is an incredible tool for helping developers boost productivity and to bring innovation to market. However, we don't want to sacrifice security for speed. And so by partnering with Code Assist, we want to help developers not only code faster, but also build applications in a more secure way. So, in order for developers to get more actionable responses on security-related matters while using Code Assist, Snyk has provided Google Cloud our documentation and security learning content to continually improve the quality of Code Assist responses. And with this specialized training in place, you can interact with Code Assist today to learn about not only how to use Snyk, but as common security topics and vulnerabilities backed by Snyk's deep security intelligence. For example, if you were to ask Gemini, how can I enforce Snyk scans before my code gets deployed to GKE? You get a response from Gemini detailing instructions on how to install the Snyk CLI, to create a project, build a Google Cloud build trigger, so that you can start scanning right away without leaving the developer context. You can also ask Gemini about common security topics and vulnerabilities, and leverage our deep security expertise to better understand the risks in your code. So, for example, here we've asked Gemini, what is Snyk's suggestion on using hard-coded secrets? And as you can see on the screen behind me, Code Assist will talk you through some of the risks associated with using hard-coded secrets, which, by the way, you shouldn't do. And it goes into best practices on how to remediate those types of security issues. Now, you can do all of this today. But let's spend a few minutes talking about what is coming next. And as a developer, beyond learning about these vulnerabilities, you want to be able to leverage the insights about your code and fix vulnerabilities that may exist. And so, to this end, I'm excited to announce that later this year, together with Google, we'll be launching a new capability for developers that allows them right inside the Gemini Code Assist IDE use our deep security know-how. And with this capability in place, developers will be able to scan code snippets using Snyk to identify any vulnerabilities that might be generated either by a human or by AI-generated code, but right inside the IDE. And as you can see here behind me, once an issue is identified, like this high-severity, hard-coded secret vulnerability, you'll be able to ask Gemini to provide more context and help you learn about that particular security issue. But the magic comes next. With a few clicks, you can have Gemini apply the fix generated by Snyk's deep code AI engine to address the vulnerability right inside the IDE. So this is just a quick sneak peek into what we're working on today. But our shared vision with Google is a singular platform experience in Code Assist, powered by Snyk's industry-leading security platform. This isn't just about efficiency. This is about trust. Trust in the code that you write, trust in the libraries that you use, the very foundation of all of your applications. All happening seamlessly within Gemini Code Assist, but powered by Snyk. Thank you all again for your time, and I'll hand it back to Gabe.
Thank you so much for that, Danny. Indeed, moving fast, it just can't be done at the expense of security. And with this integration with our partners like Snyk, we're helping our developers not only build faster, but also build with higher quality and more security along the way. I mentioned a few times earlier that one of the main principles we have for building Gemini is to meet developers where they are. Today, Gemini is available in lots of IDEs where developers write code. So you can use Gemini Code Assist in VS Code, use it in JetBrains, bringing Gemini to many popular platforms, places where developers love to write code and work generally. Now, today, I am really, really thrilled to announce that Gemini in Firebase is in public preview. Yes, this is great news. Firebase is our mobile and web app development platform that brings together tools, technology, and back-end services all into one place. Today, millions of developers are using Firebase to accelerate their app development and run their apps with confidence. And starting now, you can find Gemini assistance right inside Firebase. And we've enhanced Gemini with extensive Firebase expertise. So you can integrate it with console workflows. This allows Gemini to provide really, really specialized assistance for exclusively Firebase developers. This includes things like answering your questions about different Firebase features, maybe generating code for Firebase integrations, and offering things like troubleshooting support. It also significantly eases the learning curve, and that allows developers to build, scale, and launch their first app with Firebase faster than ever before. So now, I want to bring Aja on stage again to show you Gemini and Firebase. Aja?
Thanks, Gabe. So, for those who don't know much about Firebase, it is an amazing app development platform that makes building and operating mobile and web applications easier. Firebase includes well-known products like Firestore and Cloud Functions for Firebase, but it also includes things like authentication, storage, performance tuning and improvements, A/B testing, and a lot more. And now, Firebase includes the power of Gemini as your generative AI development, debugging, and operations assistant. So let's say I have a mobile application and I want to add some additional security features to it by adding Firebase App Check. Let's ask Gemini how to do that. How do I set up Firebase App Check on Android? So for those who don't know, App Check is a security feature that can help protect your application from unauthorized API calls. And you can see that Gemini generates the code we need, and we can just copy and paste it into our application. But what if I also have an iOS app that I have to support? Let's see if Gemini can do that. How do I do it for iOS? AppCheck can support both Android and iOS. It is multi-platform, and it can also support some web ecosystems as well. And as you can see, before I could even finish, Gemini generates the Swift code and the instructions for adding AppCheck to an iOS app. Gemini can support our development no matter what platforms we use. So we've seen one way that Gemini can help us while we're authoring code, but let's see how Gemini can help us in production. Firebase Crashlytics has integrated Gemini to make it easier for developers and operators to understand what's going on with their applications and how to fix it. And we've got a demo app running here. Not everything's going so smoothly. Let's actually look a little more deeply into this particular error. And let's see what Gemini has to say. For those unfamiliar, this error isn't exactly a crash. It's an ANR, or an application not responsive error. These errors are frustrating to users because unlike crashes, with these errors the app hangs and their device appears completely non-responsive. ANRs can have a significant negative impact on your user satisfaction and app scores, and so we really do want to address these. And already Gemini's back, and it explains that this is an application not responding error. It tells me a little about the stack trace, where this error happened, gives me a list of possible causes, including things like deadlocks and infinite loops, And this is the part I love. It gives me tips on how to troubleshoot this, walks me through a couple different things that I can try, and just helps me out. And if that isn't enough, it also gives me more tips down here. As you've seen, this is like having a knowledgeable coworker working at my side while I'm working in Firebase and dealing with issues. It provides all of the information I need when I need it with no additional context switching. And for me, that makes it way easier for me to stay focused and productive. So, the good news. Gemini and Crashlytics is available to users in the Firebase Alpha program, and Gabe is going to come back on stage and show us how to sign up for that program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aja, for the demo. And as promised, here we go. Here's the link to sign up for the Firebase Alpha program. You can test out that Crashlytics feature that Aja just demoed. Go ahead and scan that QR code on the screen. But also Firebase, Gemini and Firebase, it's already available in public preview right now. So please feel free to check that out on the platform, start playing around with it. Okay, so far we've talked quite a bit about how we are helping developers boost productivity with generative AI. And tools like Code Assist. But we also want to focus on that second thing that I mentioned before. We want to help you build your own generative AI applications for your organizations and allow you to bring these experiences and new innovations to your customers. Before we get into the details on that, I want us to all first hear from a customer who's gone through this journey themselves, this process of creating mission-critical, production-grade generative AI applications, so we can see what their experiences look like. For that, let me welcome Yao from Ford. Yao?
Hi, everyone. I'm Yao. I'm a senior specialist from AI Advancement Center at Ford. I'm working on a large range of applications on large language model and generative AI, including contact center enhancement, customer self-help interface, dealer repair assistant, and so on. We partner with Google Cloud very closely in our digital transformation journey, including many AI initiatives. Today, I'm here to share with you some of our learnings in building production-grade, mission-critical application using GenAI at Ford. Everybody knows hallucination can be a problem, especially in business applications where we want results that are factual, repeatable, and explainable. RAG, retrieval augmented generation, is one of the common, well-known approach to achieve that. With the help of Vertex AI Search, you can build a RAG application in a matter of minutes with no code or very minimum code. In many real-world scenarios, however, you still want to look under the cover and understand how results are generated. A full-stack RAG application gives you the explicit control over data ingestion, retrieval, and answer generation. It will be more involved, but I hope each of you here as developers will embrace the added complexity for a better outcome. So let me share 3 things we learned from our experience. First, large language model can be magical if it can make the connection between human inquiry to the relevant data available to it. The retriever, the R of the RAG, plays a crucial role here. If the retriever cannot do the job, the magic won't happen. We often say junk in, junk out. That's why we meticulously clean and organize our data before using it. Let me give you an example. You know, a lot of the data today is stored in a file format called PDF. However, this format is not the best fit for content understanding by the retriever. So instead of using PDF, we use the original XML that's used to generate the PDF. Why? Because this original source contains the actual structure and metadata that can help the retriever to do a better job, so the model can generate better answers. The bottom line is this. Takes the time to understand and prepare your data pays off. It's the difference between getting a mediocre results or truly exceptional answers. Making a magical connection with your users is not just the job of LLMs. It also requires you, the developers, to know your users. Not everyone, keep in mind, not everyone asks the same question in the same style on the same topic. The user preference can change significantly based on the role they're playing. Building a robust LLM application isn't any different from building other software. It can benefit from a strong test-driven approach. A well-defined test data set, sometimes known as ground truth, is usually expensive and slow to curate. So we do leverage LLMs, in this case, to help curate this data set to save human annotation effort. However, you will still need certain amounts of human intervention to help you best align the generated data with the real-world user behavior. A growing set of curated test data set and continuous user feedback loop will help you sleep better at night, at least for me, the case. One more point I don't want to make about our user is that they often need help to shifting the habits from searching in keywords to asking questions naturally in conversational style. So don't underestimate the impact of user habit and education. For mission-critical and customer-facing application, mistake can have serious consequences. Just take a moment to imagine the consequence, the outcomes of a wrongly specified torque value on the safety bolt or a false promise made to the customer. So not all contents and questions bear the same risk. It pays off to make the risk assessment on the content ahead of time and adjust the answer generation accordingly. For example, in our applications, all answers are grounded with reference to the source. But not only that, if the procedures are involved, we want to make sure the complete steps are included in the answer. If the content includes disclaimers, cautions, and warnings, we want to make sure these contents are included in the original wording with no paraphrasing. Furthermore, for high-risk contents, we have even more rigorous adversary testing through red teaming. Building a strong RAG application isn't magic. It's about smart data ingestion choice, knowing your user deeply, and planning for potential risks. If we do these things right, we'll harness the power of LLMs for a truly impactful application with some great user experience, all while keeping the results accurate and safe. This year marks the 4th year of Ford's cloud journey with Google. Together, we're envisioning a unified user experience both inside and outside the vehicle. It's an exciting time for AI transformation, and we're just at the beginning. We're looking forward to working with Google Cloud closely to bring more AI-powered experience to our customers. Thank you. Let me pass it back to Gabe.
Thank you so much, Yao, for sharing those precious learnings with us. You know, companies as sophisticated as Ford, you really understand how accuracy and safety are truly paramount. You have to deal with a lot of these uncertainties that large language models may bring. In general, it's pretty clear that building a generative AI application, it's a lot more than just picking a model, tweaking it maybe with some prompts, and then serving it, right? In order for the model to generate more accurate responses and decrease the likelihood of hallucinations, you need to consider adopting many of these additional practices. Things like RAG, which Yao just talked about a moment ago. Also things like model tuning, factual grounding, ML ops. Of course, the responses will need to be enhanced for security, privacy, safety, compliance, lots of different other responsible AI principles. Now, understanding all of these complexities is one of our missions here at Google. We want to make sure that we're imparting that knowledge onto you, helping our developers build such production-grade Gen AI applications faster and more easily. To help with that, I want to invite Aaron onto the stage to show you a demo of how he built a RAG application, a Gen AI application with Google Cloud and with ecosystem tools like LangChain. Aaron?
Thank you, Gabe. We've already learned a lot about building with Gen AI today, but now I'm going to take you step by step through the experience of implementing your first Gen AI-powered feature here on Google Cloud. We're going to add an AI-powered shopping assistant to our e-commerce site, Online Boutique. Our boutique sells furniture, and we'd like to use Gemini's multimodal capabilities to enable customers to simply upload a photo of their space and receive personalized recommendations for chairs, rugs, and bookshelves that fit their style. We're going to start with a very straightforward proof of concept chatbot that just accepts an image from the user and talks to Gemini about it. That's it. Jumping straight into my IDE, we can see that our chatbot calls a new GenAI backend service, Shopping Assistant, and is powered specifically by Gemini Pro Vision. We also use LangChain, which is a super popular framework for building with GenAI, and thanks to its support for Vertex and Gemini, this first version of our service only requires about 7 lines of code. Now, that's so quick you can almost blink and miss it, so we're going to take a second to talk through the code here. In our first couple lines, we unpack the prompt from the user's request, and then we instantiate our client to talk to the LLM. These next few lines of our function provide the structure of the message using the human message construct from LangChain Core. We pass in the user's prompt here, and we pass in the base64 image collected by our chatbot here. Finally, we just return the result as a dictionary from the function. Okay, so this first iteration was very straightforward to build, and that's fantastic. But let's take a second to check how close it is to actually meeting the customer's needs. Jumping back to my browser, I'm going to open up the Shopping Assistant and upload a photo of my living room. And I'll ask it to give me 3 chairs that would look good in this space. And we can see an image on the right there to ensure we're talking about the same thing. And so we have some descriptions of chairs, and this is a great start, but it's not particularly actionable because it doesn't contain any products the customer can buy. In order to fix this, we need to ensure that our responses are only surfacing products that are actually grounded in our catalog. This is the exact sort of use case that calls for the retrieval augmented generation architecture that we just learned about earlier in this session. So let's implement RAG and truly deliver the value of our shopping assistant to our users. Back to the IDE. For the first step towards the retrieval part of RAG, we'll need access to a vector store, which already contains a representation of our catalog as embeddings. So I'm going to go up here and create a synchronous connection to our vector store. I'm going to be pasting a few blocks because y'all don't want to watch me type all this out. So there we are. And we've chosen AlloyDB as our vector store because AlloyDB uses familiar Postgres syntax while also supporting important AI use cases like similarity searching. Under the new improved RAG flow, we're going to need to take 3 main steps in our function. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit and refactor. There we go. So first step, we're going to take the image the user passed in here and pass it to Gemini Pro. In response, we're going to receive a plain text description of the style of the room. First step makes sense. For step 2, we're going to take the description of the style of the room along with the user's prompt and pass it as context to a similarity search on this line. At this point, what's happening behind the scenes is it's converted into embeddings by the text embedding Gecko model, which is hosted for us on Vertex. And ultimately, that's used to retrieve relevant products and metadata for our search. Last but not least, for step 3, we tie this all together by passing the short list of products and metadata to Gemini Pro and asking it to provide a final, high-quality answer that is firmly planted in reality, complete with deep links to products pulled from our actual catalog. So, with those 3 steps, our RAG implementation makes sense in theory, but let's see if it actually works as intended for the customer. Back to the browser here. I'm going to upload the same photo of our living room, and I'm going to ask it for rugs this time. So give me 3 rugs that would look good here. And while we could sit here and wait for it to respond, I think it'd be cooler to jump to the logs and actually see the enhanced prompt in flight. So I'm going to search for what's relevant products, relevant to it. And towards the bottom here, we can see we're in the final design prompt, and we can see the list of retrieved documents here. And I can't stress enough that this is the magic happening in front of us. We can actually see which products were retrieved and why they're going to show up in our response. This is the night and day difference of RAG. So if we go back to the front end, we can see that we have 3 rugs that came by, and they all look fantastic. I think that any one of them would tie the space together, and I can actually click through any one of them and add them to my cart. My team's going to be so impressed. And there you have it. As you saw, we went from no GenAI component to a working GenAI shopping assistant pretty quickly. But you don't have to believe us on this. The code is available on GitHub, and you can come by to talk through the architecture and implementation in the app dev area of Innovators Hive. Thanks. Back to you, Gabe.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much, Aaron. I love that demo. I think every retail website needs to have one of those. OK, using our technology and our expertise in Gen AI, Google Cloud is helping developers build Gen AI applications faster and more easily, as hopefully you're seeing here. To repeat kind of what we're doing here, we're doing three things. First, we're helping our developers quickly get started on building Gen AI apps. Second thing we're doing is giving developers an expansive list of easy-to-use yet flexible tooling for building those apps. And at the same time, we're also making it easy for developers to adopt the many ecosystem tools at their disposal while building these apps with Google Cloud. Now first, to speed up your learning, building with Gen AI and related jumpstart solutions, you can find these things in the Google Cloud console, leverage them, click to deploy. So, for example, you can build one example application here on how to build a RAG app with Cloud SQL. Then on the landing page, it'll show you all the details, the products that are used in the solution, Google Cloud's recommended architecture, and it's just a few clicks. You can get that fully deployed into your own Google Cloud account, see how that whole thing works in action. Now, these jumpstart solutions are really great for helping you get up to speed on and learning about how to use generative AI apps. Now, additionally, Google AI Studio offers this prototyping environment that's just perfect for letting developers quickly test and experiment with prompts and different Gen AI ideas. And when it comes to actually building your own Gen AI apps, we offer developers a very expansive set of tooling. So for example, we have Vertex AI. And the platform curates over 130 Gen AI models and lots of different tools to help you discover, customize, augment, and deploy these things into production. Our database products, like AlloyDB, offer many enhanced capabilities for building RAG applications like the ones you saw on stage here today. And we offer simply the best AI infrastructure. Our container platforms like GKE and Cloud Run are optimized for running Gen AI apps. In addition, Firebase, as we showed you a moment ago, helps you quickly build and scale those web and mobile apps. And on top of all of those different products and services, Gemini Code Assist is always available by your side as a coding assistant to help you accelerate your development speed. Now, in addition to providing you with our own tools, we're building deep integrations with popular AI ecosystem tools. So for example, as you saw in Aaron's demo, to help you build that RAG application, we built lots of these integrations between LangChain and database products like AlloyDB and Cloud SQL. Cloud Run, our serverless platform, now also supports LangChain, which makes Cloud Run simply the easiest way to deploy your LangChain apps. In addition, with our Hugging Face integrations, you can quickly deploy Hugging Face models into Vertex or into GKE. Today, nearly 90% of Gen AI unicorns, these are companies who truly know AI, are Google Cloud customers. We're very proud that these companies and their developers have chose to build and work with us. At the same time, we're committed to bringing more innovations to help you build your AI experiences for your customers and committed to being your best partner on this AI transformation journey. In today's session, we covered quite a list of topics. Those two main areas. First, how we boost developer productivity using Gen AI. Second, how we help all of you build generative AI applications, your own applications, much, much faster. As developers, innovators, and visionaries, all of you, are the architects of tomorrow. The tools and tech that we discussed today, these are things that are at your disposal to build a smarter, more efficient, and more creative world. Feel free to check out these learning resources, including a newly created white paper and a few key sessions that are going to go deep on some of the topics that we discussed today. Thank you, and have a lovely next.